Hi, my name is Rebecca Edler, and I'm the Sustainability Coordinator at the College of Menominee Nation. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make applesauce. So to begin with, we're going to pick some of these amazing looking apples. If I can reach them. Now that we have our apples picked, we've come over to food distribution where we'll be demonstrating how to make the applesauce. So the first thing you do is we set up our apple peeler. This is just a simple apple peeler that I bought from the local hardware store. Then I have a pan full of water. I like to add a little bit of salt, actually quite a bit of salt, to the water, because what we're going to do is we're going to peel the apple, and then we're going to place the apple pieces that we'll be using for the applesauce. We'll be putting them in the water. You can also, after the peels, or after the apples are peeled, you can use them, in a variety of ways. You can make some pies, cakes, basically anything that you would want to make. So I'm going to take an apple, place it onto the peeler. You just slide it on like this, and then peel the apple. It's very easy. Once the apple is peeled, you simply pull it off, and you can see the nice apple slices that we'll have here. I then just drop them in the water, pull off the core. Sometimes I'll have a little paring knife and I'll take off the rest of this little bit of apple and use that as well. So I'm just going to go through now and peel a number of apples. You can use any type of apples that you have. If you have different varieties of apples, you can certainly use any type of apple. Again, it just peels off and makes really nice slices. Alright, so once your apples have started to cook, generally what I do is I assess the fluid in the pot. If it needs a little more, I just take a little bit and add it. And you can watch that throughout the cooking process, just so your apples don't burn. So once it starts to cook or boil a little bit, what I do is I take a masher and I simply grab the pot and start to mash it down. And as you're mashing, it'll keep cooking. You'll see how the pieces start to break up into smaller pieces, and that makes it cook a little faster. And just kind of keep working it until you kind of get it all into the water, and then just let it cook. All right. Now our applesauce is pretty much the consistency that we would want. So the next thing I would do is I would taste it. And if you taste it, I always like to add a little bit of sugar because I like my things a little bit sweeter. So add some sugar. And then if you like cinnamon, I would add the cinnamon. The reason that we wait to add the sugar until the end is if you add the sugar anytime before, most likely you'll burn the bottom of the applesauce. So just add it, and then I give it a few more little stirs here. Doesn't that look delicious? All right, and once you're all finished with making your applesauce, you can either eat it fresh, or what I do is sometimes I can it, or you can also freeze it. And if you freeze it, I generally put it in little quart jars. or pint jars. And then I don't fill them up quite to the top because once it freezes, it expands. So yeah, you can just put it in your jars, put a top on, throw it in your freezer, and you'll have fresh applesauce all year long. Thanks so much for attending our applesauce session.